Hi everyone, my name is Kelsey Gomez Morrissey and I'm the Director of Chapter Development for Acacia Fraternity. This workshop that we're going through today on coaching and how you can coach as advisors was intended to be at Conclave. However, due to a long business session, we needed to cut that workshop out and put it on video. So I'm going to go through this really fast today, but you have a worksheet and you have this recording to use to start looking through it again, re-watching it, redoing worksheets, etc., in order to be able to continue to build on the skill set that we're going to talk about today. So what are we really focusing on? It's coaching. So what is a coach? A coach is someone who provides guidance to someone on their goals and helps them to reach their full potential. I really love this definition because it's all about guidance. It's not about doing. It's not about telling. It's about guiding through good questions our undergraduate officers through thoughts and planning in order to create a really good fraternity environment and to help them reach their potential as a leader and help the chapter reach their potential. So coaching is very important to us at Acacia. Coaching is what we try to work on as chapter coaches when we're working with undergraduate officers, and we think these are really good skill sets for you as advisors to also learn. And so what are key coaching skills? I pulled this from a website because I think it's really good and it's the basic model that I learned when I was in graduate school. And so key coaching skills are things like goal setting, actively listening, look to observe, build empathy rapport, be curious, give feedback, get feedback, ask good questions, evaluate, regularly check in. These are all items that we as advisors and as chapter coaches at the headquarters level really want to focus on and really want to build skills in. Now, these can be really hard sometimes when a chapter is in trouble or if they made a bad decision. You just want to jump in and you want to take over and you want to make sure to fix the things. But what we really need to do is help build the skill set for the undergraduate officers or anybody in the chapter to be able to handle those situations and to be able to come out of it in the best way on the back end. And so what we can do is really be curious and provide some structure. We can actively listen through what happened, provide some thoughts, but really help them evaluate what happened and move forward from there by asking questions and getting feedback and creating a new plan. So these are the basic skills of coaching that we're going to continue to focus on throughout the rest of this academic year. Something that really has helped me in coaching better is creating a plan and really thinking through, okay, how am I going to have this conversation with somebody so I make sure that it's coaching and it's not just teaching, it's not just directing, it's not just any of these other things that we tend to like to do, but it's actually coaching. And so this model has helped me out a lot, and so I wanted to share it with all of you. So it's called the GROW model. So GROW, G-R-O-W, each letter has a word associated with it. So G is goal, R reality, O options, and W will. And so we're going to go through what each of these mean, and then I'm going to show you a worksheet on how you can walk through it yourself so you can set yourself up for the best conversation possible when you are coaching your undergraduate officers. So G is for goal. So what are your goals? So focus questions were going to be things like, what will you be saying to yourself? What will other people be saying to you? What will you have once you achieve this goal that you don't have now? What do you want? How would you like it to be? Now, these are all things you're going to ask it yourself, but you're also going to think about asking your officer. So what are things that you know that are going to come your way that you need to walk through in order to answer these questions? And really figure out your goal. R is for reality. So focus questions is, what is your assessment of the current situation? How do you feel about this? How does the coachee, so the undergraduate officer, feel about this? What impact does it have on you as an advisor or on the chapter or on officer in general? What are you doing that is getting in the way of this goal? And how important is this to you? Why are we talking about it? What is the actual reality of the situation that we're walking into right now? O is for options. So some focus questions are, what are possibilities and alternatives that you already have? What's worked in the past? What hasn't worked in the past? What could help the undergraduate officer with this that they don't have? Where could they find more information, more resources, etc.? And W is for will, or I like to say way forward. That's kind of where I learned in this model. So way forward. So what will you do? So what are future obstacles that you're going to foresee? What is that plan of action? Who are you going to talk to? Where will you go? When will you do it? Really creating that like action plan moving forward. And so that is the essential grow model. And so what this looks like in practice is using a worksheet. So this is a worksheet I put together. And so at the top, you can describe a situation. So describe or think through what is a situation you know you're going to have that you want to talk to an officer about. Maybe they didn't fulfill their duties for an event planning session. Maybe they didn't have a good chapter meeting. Maybe they didn't get good grades. Maybe a situation happened at a social event that didn't go well and you want to walk through it again. Anything like that could be a potential coaching situation. And so think of a situation, write it down, process it, and we're going to go through the model, right? So again, we're going through grow. So what I like to do is start with the goal. So what is the goal of the conversation I want to have from my perspective? So if I say, hey, this social event didn't go well, there was an incident and we really need to talk through it, then my goal of the conversation is to learn more about what happened, learn more about why officers didn't respond appropriately, and to also just learn how do we go forward so we don't have an incident like this again. What education do we need? What support can I be in the future to get that going? So the goal of this conversation is for me to understand more. And from the coach's perspective, it's to share more, right? And to tell us what happened and to really dive deep into the situation. Reality. So what questions will you ask to guide the coachee to an awareness of the current situation? So how can we ask some guiding questions to help them understand the severity of the issue, especially if they don't understand the severity of the issue? Sometimes the undergrads don't see severity of issues in the same way we do. So questions like, tell me more about that. What are your biggest concerns related to this? What do you want this to look like in the future? Do you understand how this could be troublesome? Anything like that is a really good question to kind of gain grasp on reality of the situation. Options is your next one. So how will you help this is employee, but coachee, generate his or her own possibilities? So what does success look like in the future is a really good question. Not telling them what success looks like, but asking them, what will it look like? How will you know that an event was successful next time? How do we know if we're going to build the best and safest event for next time? What do we need to think through? What are those possibilities? What are the risks at doing these things differently? Do you need a different skill set in order to make those happen? All of these things are the options you want to talk through. And then will or way forward is what questions will you ask to ensure that they have a plan to move forward? It's awesome. So, what is required of you? When are you going to get it done? Who can help you? What are you going to do when you feel stuck? Why is this important to you? What resources does Acacia HQ have, or what resources do I have from being, in the real world that I can help you with, and really start to build out this plan forward. Now, when we go through this worksheet and we kind of build all of this out, we're thinking through how to coach somebody through a situation, not just tell them what it is, not just tell them that it was bad, and that they need to fix it, but really help the undergraduate officer gain grasp on why the situation may have been bad, and really, really start to critically think through, hey, this is why we need to have this conversation. And so this is a really good worksheet for you to write out beforehand so you can really gather your thoughts and you can stay on track with the coaching conversation and not always drive back into the doing conversation. I am a huge talker adder. I'm a huge, hey, we're going to jump in and do this right now, and this is the way it's going to be done. And that is my basic personality. And I know that a lot of you probably feel very similar. And so the coaching is really hard for me, and it's a skill that I've had to learn. And so going through this worksheet has really helped me know how I'm going to have a conversation in the future. So that way I know I stick to coaching, and that is really helping the students build their own critical thinking skills and really process through what their fraternity experience is versus me telling them how it should be. Now, this isn't always easy to do. So on the back side of this worksheet are some general coaching questions. So these are some questions that are more open-ended, some things you can use to really just garner better insight on items, etc. So I definitely think that it's a good idea to go through these questions and use these questions as you're building out your GROW model. Now, today I went through a lot of items really quickly. If you have questions about this, you can email me at kgm@acacia.org. This is a topic that we're going to continue to discuss frequently throughout the year because coaching, I think, is really, really important. This is just one really quick way to start learning how to coach a little bit more as advisors and to really build that skill up for you. All right. I hope you all have a good rest of your day.